Hi, we're Mike and Brenda Baker, and we're so thankful that you joined us here today. Today's topic is a big one, uh, and the title is How to Ensure Remarriage Success to Avoid Divorce. Hun?
Number one, trust. So part of the reason there was a break in trust in your prior marriage, straight up. All right. At some point, you both decided that you couldn't trust one another with each other's feelings, with each other's bank accounts. It doesn't matter what, but there was a break. Okay. Now, some of you say, well, no, we still trust each other. No, trust is necessary for the commitments to work. All right. So trust. Now, trust in and of itself is something that you're going to now have problems with your new spouse with, and that's natural. There's the whole new marriage, new trust thing, but with a remarriage, now you're bringing baggage in that affects that trust.
Right. I agree 100%.
Yeah. So the whole idea then is, how can I build trust? All right. Well, say, for instance, your last spouse cheated on you, and when you suspected they were cheating on you, you were hyper aware of everything they did. Okay. Now, in Brenda's prior relationship, he was unfaithful, very unfaithful. So when we first got married, I recognized that there was probably going to be some trust issues. And not every guy does, but you need to know that ahead of time. And so I couldn't even go to the store to get a soda without her asking me what I was doing, where I was going, when I was going to be back. So did I get offended? Okay, see, now a lot of guys, or a lot of gals for that matter, will automatically go on the defensive. I am not your former spouse. Why don't you trust me? No, stop right there. Trust is earned, okay? And then with baggage, trust has to heal, which means level face, I'm just going to do this. It's not a big deal. Would you like to come with me? Okay. If you feel like you can't ever get 5 minutes away by yourself, you don't say that. You don't say, I want 5 minutes alone by myself. You simply say, hey, I would just like to run and grab this right quick. I'll be right back. Okay. So your tone, but trust is built.
Well, and another thing that Mike did for me that was really important in my healing and my being able to trust him was he was always where he said he was going to be. He never deviated. And if he did, he would stop at the closest payphone, because we didn't have cell phones at that point.
Yeah.
That was 24 years ago. He would stop, he would call me, and he'd let me know. So I never had to wonder, because one of the things that my ex-husband used to always do is, I'll be back at such and such time. And then 3 to 7 hours later, he might show up. And usually he was either drunk or I could smell perfume on him. And there was some lie that came from all of that. And so trust was a huge issue for me. And Mike really helped me to trust him and be able to know that what he said was actually what he was going to do.
Right. So with that comes number 2, which is commitment. You can't have commitment without trust. All right. A lot of you will think so, but you can't. You've got to be patient. If this sounds like a lot of work to you, it is. Okay. And it's okay, because the marriage was worth it. You remarried again. You chose to jump in again. So you chose to give that significant other your 110% effort. Okay. You have committed. You have said, I am here. I'm not going anywhere because I love you and I want you to trust me.
And they say that words have power. Well, you said I do. You said in sickness and in health, until death do us part. Do it. Just do it, please. Because what you're going to do is you're going to stop the cycle of divorce. It's not, you can Google it. Second marriages have a much higher rate of divorce than first marriages, which also have third marriages have a much higher rate, and so on.
Yeah.
You can't get away from the spiraling circle of events that's going to happen if you don't stop. You might have made a bad decision in your first marriage. You might have made some personal bad choices. Maybe you had an oversight, but it's okay. Learn from those things and commit yourself to your spouse and to their children if they have some, and be willing to do the work for it.
trust and commitment, this needs to not be based on the prior marriage. It needs to be based on the new marriage. New marriage, new trust, new commitment. I guarantee you that you've got room in both areas that you can polish. Room in your trust that you can polish. Don't burden. Now, I get it. You got hurt and there's going to be some trust issues. But try really hard not to burden your new spouse with your trust issues. They haven't earned that. They don't deserve it. Try to remember that the commitment you made to them is real. It's not all about their commitment to you. Yeah, you got hurt before. Yeah, they broke their commitment. Maybe you broke your commitment. This is new commitment, new opportunity, new ground. So with that, let's roll into number 3. Respect and love, love and respect. So the whole idea behind love and respect, respect and love, men and women are very different. And we're not talking the Venus and Mars bit. No. We're talking men need respect and love in that order. And women need love and respect. So although we need the same two things, they're very different in the fact that of how we process them.
Yeah. One of the things that always cracks us up when we are marriage counseling with people and mentoring them to have a better remarriage is usually the women especially want to just give their husband love.
Yeah.
And then she will go off on him in front of the kids or in front of his buddies and be so disrespectful. And then she wonders why he won't love her.
Why he closes off.
Yeah. And the two go hand in hand. Yes, women, you do need respect, but you need love first.
Yeah.
Same with men. They need respect first and then love. It doesn't have to matter. It doesn't have to make sense to us. It's just a fact.
Yeah. Men are very much shown love through respect. Okay. If you've taken the time to respect who he is, what he's trying to do for you, what he's trying to do for the family, what he's trying to do in his career, he will in turn show you love. Okay. Because you need love and respect as a female. Men recognize respect, and it's a perfect circle. All right. So if you show that respect, he will show that love. And ultimately the trust and commitment, that it's all part of the same thing, but all three, it's like 3 points of the triangle.
Right. Yeah. And, yesterday we had a situation where I got upset with Mike for saying something that he said to someone, and I just fired back like that. And I just was like, "Arr, arr, arr," and I was just biting at him. Well, then things were tense. They were really tense, okay, for a while. And frankly, I get to that place where I just kind of want to stab people when I get really upset. Not really stab them, but I am more passionate, and it doesn't always come out in the best ways. So did I stab him? No. Did I want to stab him? Kind of, yeah. Okay, but it was me that was in the wrong, right? And so because of that, he reeled back. He didn't want much to do with me because I disrespected him. It wasn't until just before I apologized that he actually became himself again. Now that was on me. It was my fault, but it's really, really important, women. It's important not to ever disrespect your husband, because especially in front of his friends and peers, it's more damaging to him than you realize. So be better than me. Actually, I don't usually do that, but yesterday, I don't know. There was some things going on and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't matter. I apologized and I owned my mistake. And normally I don't do that, but I will be a lot more vigilant to make sure that it never happens again.
So ultimately, be better today than you were yesterday. This is your second, third marriage, but this should be your last. Okay. That's your goal. Not to, every guy is good for 4 marriages. That's bull crap. It's baloney. All right. Just wash it away. This should be your last marriage. The marriage you're in right now should be your last. Now, are we talking about every marriage where there's serious abuse or anything? No, we're talking average remarriages. Okay. They all have very similar problems.
Right. Yeah. Abuse is never okay.
No.
And so if you're in an abusive relationship right now, please comment below. We'd love to help you and get you some resources for your area, and help you to get out of a situation like that. We're not saying divorce. We're just saying help you to have firm, healthy boundaries and lots of people around you to help you to set those boundaries, keep those boundaries, and not allow the abuse. Because let's be honest, whatever you allow in your house is what you are training your children to. You are training the boys. If you're a woman, you're training the boys in your household that abuse is normal. It's okay.
Yeah.
And you're training your girls that abuse is, again, normal, and just take it. Just take it. Yeah.
Yep. And that is not what we're condoning here.
No.
The three things of trust, commitment, and respect and love, we're talking about regular marriages. We're not talking about the extreme fringe. I mean, obviously there's going to be, applies to most marriages, but there are a few of those out there that it won't. And if you are one of those, please reach out. Please reach out.
Well, we thank you so very much for your time and your just being willing to take responsibility for your marriage, because really you taking responsibility is going to set the example for your spouse to take the responsibility for themselves as well. And so we commend you for being willing to look at yourself. All right. Well, again, we talked about how to ensure remarriage success to avoid divorce. And if you think that this episode has helped you in some way, we'd love to hear how it helped you. And if you'd share it as well, we would appreciate that. If you have any questions for us, you're always welcome to comment below this video, and we will get back to you. We thank you so very much for your time. Talk to you soon.